Good, Dr. Harris. You have mentioned quite a bit about the sort of culture that has been developed over years. And there are many people basically out there who are saying that the administration should get rid of them because they're basically going to sabotage the government. They've basically said that the government is only going to last for 6 weeks or 6 months. And so, therefore, these people are going to sabotage because there has been a culture of party loyalty in the civil service where party is basically put before doing the government's work. And so, therefore, how does your administration plan to change the culture of the civil service? Because that is one of the hardest things to do. People do not change overnight. There are people there with the same mindset. There are people there who somehow they are can be subtly undermining and sabotaging the work of the government. That is always a possibility. How do you deal with changing that culture? What are your expectations of the civil service in terms of the work ethics and all of that?
Well, you're right on many points. And yet, Team Unity came to government saying to the people, and the people accepted, that there can be a more enlightened way to govern. That we still can demand and expect from our citizens that the majority of them can rise to the occasion required by good governance. And we say to each and every civil servant, we want you to do your work professionally, and professionally includes confidentiality, and professionalism includes punctuality, and professionalism includes having respect for your reporting superiors and conduct yourself in a manner befitting the organization. I am pleased to say that in the main, a majority or a substantial number of the civil servants have been behaving in appropriate ways. And are there others who are sulking, who are not performing, who are late on the job, who are on the Facebook attacking the very government that is putting monies in their pocket? Yes, they are. And in time, to the reform of the public service, all or most of the negatives within it would, as it were, be transitioned out, and better group and a better cadre of people will come. We will hold the senior people in the government accountable for the performance of their juniors. We will hold them. The executive officer, the permanent secretary, the assistant secretaries, the senior people in the government will be held accountable for the conduct of those below them, because they ought to take the requisite action in keeping with the statutory rules and regulations when people are non-performing, misbehaving, or otherwise not contributing to the good purpose of their particular department. And that is the approach that we will take. And yes, we will continue, just as I'm doing now, to encourage, to warn. And when there is need for action, we will take that action and we will make no apology. We were prepared, for example, to work with one of the civil servants' permanent secretaries. And then we found out that the very permanent secretary who had passed 55, the very permanent secretary who we had intended to help along, that permanent secretary was backdating contracts of party acts of the last administration with a view to increasing the obligation of this government. And when we found that had happened, we took the relevant action to ensure that she could no longer serve in that capacity for which she had failed. We took the matter up with the former Governor General. And the former Governor General said, well, you see, these things came to me. I assumed they were in order. I didn't expect that you would have such mischief. In fact, he said to me, Sir Prime Minister, one of the things I keep saying is that in a democracy, people must expect change because change will come. And when the change comes, they must not only accept the change, they must respect the change and move on with their lives. I think that there was some wisdom in that you have to accept the change. And on the 16th of February 2015, the majority of people in St. Kitts and Nevis in 11 constituencies determined that they wanted the Douglas administration no more. However you voted, as a civil servant, you have to accept that reality. You have to respect that reality in a democracy. And in the wisdom of the former Governor General, you must move on with your lives. That is, don't let your politics blind you from doing what you ought to do as a civil servant. And if people accept that mantra, all will be well in the country of St. Kitts and Nevis.